Hi guys, it's Frankie from Frankie Tech. Good to see you guys again. And wow, I don't know what to say, guys. Apologies for the delay in content. I can't even apologize anymore because at this point, yeah, I've been MIA and tech has been a bit quiet, obviously for sure recently. And I've been very busy with work. But I will say, yeah, I think in terms of the passion for tech, it's definitely very low points at this moment. That said, I do have some pretty awesome phones that are on the way. I think it's been a quiet period in general for releases though. But there are some pretty exciting releases coming my way soon. So I do appreciate the patience. Stay tuned for that. But regardless of, tech, I did want to talk a little bit about my journey. Obviously, as you guys know, I lost my wife to breast cancer almost 2 years now. In May will be 2 years since that happened. And I've been through a lot of transformations, a lot of changes. I've met someone new. Shout out to New. Love you, baby. And trying to start a whole new life, supporting my daughter, and just trying to get by really in this new world. But one of the things, obviously, you can clearly tell that happened in the past year was my physical transformation. When I was over 105 kilos at the beginning of last year, to now down to 72 kilos. And I've kind of maintained at this level. But I just want to share like 3 points. A lot of people have been asking me, how did you do it? What was your routine? What's been your routine? And I think the 3 key things I want to talk about just very quickly here. This is not my new fitness channel, but I just wanted to just share a little bit about the journey. In March of last year, I was definitely just feeling really down. I was kind of making excuses, and the main excuse I kept telling myself, guys, was that I was using the loss of my wife as an excuse to not get myself healthy again. And I got to tell you guys, my health was really, really rough. I was, 105 kilos, almost 220 pounds, feeling real pain in my legs. I would wake up with soreness in my legs, wake up with like heart palpitations. I tell you guys, I think I was really feeling like I was not long for this world. I almost felt like, gosh, how many more years can I survive living like this? And finally, I said enough is enough. And, this kind of brings to my first point, which was I had worked out before, guys. I'd done lifting, I'd done other cardio stuff before, but just deciding to get back into it. And obviously fitness is the first reason why I am how I am. Now, what have I done in terms of fitness in this past year? It has been predominantly and mostly resistance training. I used to lift a lot, weightlifting, when I was back in university days, and I continued doing it. I always ran as well, did a lot of cardio. But what I did in the first, I'd say 6 months, mostly was weightlifting and combination weightlifting and HIIT. I don't know if you guys knew this, but very early into my losing weight phase, I tore my right calf muscle playing tennis. I was still too heavy. I jumped up for a serve and I injured myself. And I had to find another way to do it instead of just running. I was honestly way too heavy. And if you're too heavy, guys, starting to just put on your shoes and go running, it's not the right approach. It is not the right approach. You need to lose some weight first. And I find, at least for my body type, the most effective way has been really weight training, resistance training, and the muscle memory of all the years in the past when I used to work out came back to help me. I did my last scan for skeletal muscle mass, and I'm at like 36 or 37 kilos. So I'm still building that muscle mass even to this day. Despite having lost so much weight, I basically have what's called body recompositioned my body. And a lot of that weight training increased my metabolism. You guys may be thinking, oh, Frankie probably just doesn't eat ever. Guys, until just recently, when I'm now going to be going to a bit of a cutting, a bit of a slightly reducing phase, I've been eating, guys, around 3,300 to 3,500 calories a day. That's right, guys. But there's one key metric to that, and we'll get to nutrition in a bit. obviously the muscle building requires protein, and that's why for me resistance training has been so effective, because weight training, building the muscles back up, that changed the composition of my body, and slowly my body started working for me, and all the fat just started going away because I basically gave my muscles the protein they needed and the energy they needed to just get stronger, and just to recomp. And you guys can look it up, what body recomposition is, but that's basically what I did in terms of fitness with weight training, HIT, and walking. Honestly, walking became such a big part, is still a big part of my life. Walking upwards of 7 to 10 kilometers a day, finding just moments to walk. I think that was number one. Number two, obviously, was diet, because honestly, if you go to the gym, you do all this stuff, but if you're eating garbage, you're just gonna fail. But the main thing so many people forget is you can have a healthy lifestyle in terms of your diet and still not lose weight. And that's because you are not in a calorie deficit. For losing weight, there's a very basic term. You have your base calories is what you have to maintain, and then you have your calorie surplus and your calorie deficit. And for me, I was basically running around a 500 calorie deficit, maybe more at first. Eventually I started, lessening that. But the main thing I kept consistent every single day was my protein intake, because I knew for my for 1 kilo of weight that I had, I was basically I've been having around 1.5 to 1.75 grams of protein for the kilos that I weigh. So that kind of calculates to now around 150 grams of protein daily. And that's a metric in terms of diet, and that I've been very consistent about. Whether I eat some more carbs, I haven't cut out carbs, guys. I actually probably limited my carbs at first, but now I just eat to make sure that I get that protein amount, that 150 grams of protein, and the fat and all the rest is a bit less important, but it's still important to have healthy foods as long as you can get to that protein intake. And sometimes that means protein shakes. I use a lot of whey protein, sometimes protein bars, just to supplement the protein that I'm getting. I take a good multivitamin as well that helps me with any deficiencies. When you're calorie deficit, you may not be getting all the vitamins that you need, and having a lot of fresh vegetables always helps as well for the nutrient side. But number three, I really want to talk about this, is more the mindset, guys, because you can do the fitness side, you can do the diet side, but none of this matters if you aren't consistent. And for me, the consistency has been the key. Bringing it all together, consistency is what changes habits and what ultimately has brought me to this level. A few key things I did that I'd never done before, guys. In March 4th of last year, I started on day one recording every single workout that I did. Every single set, every single rep, and slowly, now looking back at my notes, I can see the progression as I slowly overloaded my muscles to get stronger and stronger. I started basically barely able to dumbbell press, 22 kilos, 20 kilos in each arm. This morning I went to do chest day. I hadn't done dumbbell press in a while. I've been using machines a bit more. I'm 39 years old, guys, so I'm definitely trying to be a bit more careful now with my joints and everything. But I started doing dumbbell press recently, and I haven't dropped off much. I last week started around 30 kilos in each hand, and now I moved up to 32 kilos in each hand, and I can do maybe 8 to 10 reps of 32 kilos in each hand. And I think that's pretty good considering I'm a 72 kilo guy, which is 160 pounds just about, and I'm basically picking up quite a bit of weight. That's 64 kilos, so essentially almost my entire body weight over my head. But the key here, guys, is consistency and the mantras that have stuck with me. Every time I go to the gym every morning, I say 3 things to myself. Just keep swimming, always. Just keep lifting, that's kind of the same thing, but never give up. Never give up. And that's been one of my main mantras in this weight loss journey and transformation, is never give up. No excuses is the other one. And if you make excuses, that's where you become inconsistent. And there's a great line from David Goggins. I don't know if you guys know him. He's this guy, ultra marathon runner, super motivational guy, swears a lot, but he said something in his book that I read a couple months back. And when it comes to fitness, when it comes to getting yourself healthy, when it comes to pushing yourself, it's just what we do. And that's the quote. It's just what we do. So for me, this is not like a burden. I do this because I love it. Obviously, I'm seeing a lot of great results from it, but it's not an option for me anymore. This is my life, and this is just what I do now. Go to the gym. I go essentially 5-6 times a week. I complement that with walking in the evenings, sometimes doing HIIT. If I don't want to go to the gym, I'll do an HIIT 30-minute session, and I do that. But the point is that I'm consistently doing something every single day. And yes, I do take rest days here and there, but I find that very passive rest days help for me. So even just going for a walk or doing a light HIIT session, for me, that counts as a rest day. I don't need to completely rest for the entire day, unless, muscles nagging or hurting me a little bit. And I have had a few injuries here and there. At my age, 39, my shoulders sometimes have been bothering me. My right forearm has been hurting quite a bit. Recently, it's been kind of limiting my bicep workouts and my back workouts a little bit. I don't want to power through those, but I definitely am just reducing the weight, increasing the reps, and just that allows me to continue to be consistent despite the slight nagging injuries, which I do stretch out, and stretching is a very important part of all that. But when you think about it, guys, consistency is the reason why, this happens, why I'm able to, reduce myself, why I'm able to go from being essentially obese to having a six-pack. And I did it actually in just under 9 months. I think I did it in 8 months, and I've been maintaining ever since. So don't think that it's ever too late, to be honest, to make a change in your life. I lost everything, guys. I lost my wife. I lost my sense of purpose. I lost everything. But I realized that I needed to be there for my daughter, and I needed to be there for her future. And yes, you shouldn't drink coffee past 4 p.m. or 3 p.m., but I'm still doing it. And no, you don't have to give up everything. I still enjoy my occasional, Shake Shack, Five Guys burger. I can have a pizza when I want, because guess what? The other main thing I've done in terms of nutrition is I'm actually tracking what I eat now. And it's helped a lot. Just the way I record my workouts, it's helped to see what I'm putting in my body. And it helps me mostly to track my protein intake so that I know I'm hitting that mark every day. But just like, tracking my workouts, tracking what I eat, it's all a part of this idea of consistency. And without consistency, you're pretty much dead in this journey. You need to make it a habit. And ultimately, hopefully, it can be just what you do as well. So anyway, I know this was a bit of a long-winded video, and I will be sharing more details of my channel. I just feel like there's a few other things I need to work on before I feel confident to really start dedicating time to this topic more in depth. But as you can tell by the 13-minute mark here, coming up to 14 minutes, I have a lot to share on this subject. But hit me up in the comments, guys. Where are you in terms of your fitness journey? If you are on a fitness journey, or if you want to be on a fitness journey, tell me your story in the comments, and tell me, what are the struggles? What are you dealing with? What are tips that you may want to learn about? I've been reading a lot about this in the last year or so, and I think I gained a lot of expertise in terms of this subject. So really do hit me up in the comments. I'll be happy to share more tips, more ideas. And of course, this will eventually segue out of Frankie Tech into a new place where I can share my fitness, lifestyle, and just other things that come to mind in this really casual manner with all of you. So that's it for this one. I do appreciate the support. Stay tuned, guys. More tech content on the way. Apologies once again for the delaying content, but thanks for listening to my first, I guess, fitness-related topic video here that I've ever done, ever, on any of my channels. I do appreciate it. And that's it for this one. If you liked it, give me that thumbs up. And if you love the content of Frankie Tech, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell icon for future updates. just keep swimming, guys. Never give up. And just know it's never too late to make a change. If after everything I've gone through, guys, everything that I can find a place to make a change in my life, so can you. Anyways, that's it for this one. And this is where I leave you by saying, this is Frankie Tech signing off. Have a good one. Have a good one, guys. And apologies once again. I'll be back very soon. Take care.